Guys, we knew that a day would come when Sharon and I would have to talk about books we haven't read or genres we haven't discovered.
I did not even know this was a genre till yesterday. I'm like, ये क्या है?
Yeah, I'm like, ये भी होता है.
What? Since when?
किया. Anyway, so then we decided that in order to make sure that we give all different types of genres the love and the justice that they deserve.
We are inclusive.
Yes.
To all kinds.
We will try to get people who are experts or who know a lot about a particular genre that she and I have no idea about. And today we have with us the really funny, really tall,
really talented,
amazing all-round man, Azeem Banatwala.
Hey.
Where do I? Hello, Azeem.
Oh, hi. कैसे हो?
Literally just talked about you when you were here.
I know, right?
What
it's
a coincidence!
What?
You guys are doing a podcast. Wow, I just came for like chai.
Yes.
This is damn nice.
Chai pe charcha.
Yes, chai pe charcha.
Chai pe charcha. So Azeem is here to talk about a genre that Sharon and I don't know diddly squat about.
There's a lot of video games that are based on books that people don't know about.
Okay.
So how did this affliction start, Azeem?
Yes.
When did you first play a game? It's like, not enough, I must read.
Why do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so for my interest in like video games and then the books from which they are derived started with a series called The Witcher, which is again, so it's a Polish fantasy fiction series.
Wow!
Yes. So which is written by this guy called Andrzej Sapkowski.
Of course.
Yes. And the books have been, so all the books have been written, but they're translated to English and sort of, they're still translating the books to English now. So they release sort of still every year.
Is
like
Witcher
the last
also
one.
a Polish game?
It is developed by a Czechoslovakian studio, if I'm not wrong. So the entire plot of it is that there's this guy called Geralt of Rivia, who is a witcher, which is basically in that world is a guy who slays monsters for money. And the first book, it's called The Blood of Elves by Andrzej Sapkowski. So there's an entire sort of world that's happening over there. Like there's like proper like political conflict, and it's a world where there's racism between the fantasy characters. Like the elves have like a caste system within them.
Okay.
And like there's certain elves who look down upon like a certain type of elves, and like the dwarves are looked down upon.
Right. So when you read the books, does it impact the way you play? Because you trying to chase the same outcome?
No. So the book and the video game, the plot lines are different.
Okay.
So the video game stuff is sort of happening after the events of the book, or sort of in the middle of two books or whatever.
So the first series that you'd recommend is Witcher.
Witcher, for sure.
Then?
So then,
I'm excited. What's
yes, The Witcher is fabulous. So then you have a lot of video games which are based on lore and series that people know about.
Okay.
So there's a company called Telltale Games, and they are effectively living graphic novel games.
Oh.
So you like the entire art style is graphic novel.
That's amazing.
But most of it is just sort of like dialogue driven.
Okay.
So in terms of there's a conversation happening, and somebody poses like a really loaded question at you, and you have like 4 options of how to deal with it.
Okay.
And you have like maybe 10 seconds to decide what's happening.
Shit.
But again, like, so the first one they made was based on The Walking Dead. And over there, like, you're effectively playing this guy. And what they do is they don't take any existing storyline. They just create an entirely new story around it.
Within the universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And based on your reactions and your decisions, like central characters die or live. So like based on like whether you like a particular character, like like in a book when you're reading it, you're like, I don't like this one, like I wish ye mar jati.
Oh my god, why can't they make a Grey's Anatomy game? I really want to kill Maggie.
They had a Game of Thrones one as well.
Oh.
You're in this small village that's sort of been ravaged by like the Boltons and all that. Again, like spin-off story completely. And over there, there's like these guys are sort of like distant relatives of the Starks in a sense. And you're like, okay, the village is under attack and blah, blah, blah and all of that. And then Ramsay Bolton shows up. And now like that's everyone's dream to be in that interaction with Ramsay Bolton to know like how shit is going to go down here. And obviously he's going to kill someone, but depending on your actions, like who he kills. So, and then it
Being able to
progresses
control
further.
what happens on Game of Thrones is everybody's dream.
Yeah, and then you have interactions with, I think you have interactions with Tyrion, you have interactions with, what's her name, Marjorie Tyrell, like all of that kind of stuff. So, and they have several seasons of that coming. They have one for Batman.
Batman, I know that there
Batman has
must be
so many
multiple games,
but
no?
Yeah,
what is that Arkham Asylum? That
yeah, but this is
Yeah.
like, that's a great general, like, it's for geeks, it's fabulous. The combat system is brilliant. It's really good. So the same combat system that the Arkham games have, they also put into an LOTR spin-off, which is yes, it's called Shadow of Mordor.
Wow!
Yes, like I love the fake
How to
enthusiasm.
play this? No, I love Lord of the Rings. This is actually all for me.
So I mean, so again, so your shadow, so this is different from your Telltale variety of games because it's like a proper legit, like third-person open world RPG type thing. And so the key aspect that Shadow of Mordor has is that so you're trying to sort of fight the orc armies and basically fuck up Sauron's plans effectively. And so they have this thing called a nemesis system where like so there are these orc chieftains and leaders. And so like when you fight orcs, like they remember you. Like so in a game, like whoever you kill are just like these nameless random soldiers.
Yeah.
But there will be particular soldiers who like, for instance, in a group, one will run away at the end. If you don't catch him, then he at some point later is going to be like a chieftain and he's going to be out to get you.
Okay.
And they remember you effectively. And they're all like randomly generated names. And so it's completely random in that sense how it plays out. So it's...
I'm going to bring you back to Telltale.
Oh, yes.
You talked about Fables.
Oh, yes, Fables. Have you guys read the Fables
I have read the
graphic
first
novels?
book. Yeah, I have it here
Yes.
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely.
So I just wanted people to know about what Fables was.
So Fables is very fascinating. It's sort of again a parallel universe type thing. So it's like your fables, your fairy tale
all
characters.
the fairy tales that you grew up reading.
Yeah, but in now with real world like problems. So they're all living sort of like in a city of New York or whatever, and they're living in a particular neighborhood, and they have these things called glamours, effectively, which makes them look like yes, very glamorous. Yeah, so it makes them look like real people and not like, for instance, like a toad, like the looks like a person.
Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
TV show also.
No, Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time on ABC is based on Fables.
Right. And it's quite cool. So they have one with Telltale Games which is called A Wolf Among Us. That's the one. So in that there's the big bad wolf who's effectively the sheriff.
And where are the pigs?
The pigs are on the farm because that's where they've been sent. So if you cannot afford money, so that's how the political spectrum of that world works. That if you don't have money to afford glamours, like especially all the animals, then you're sent to the farm, which is basically sort of inhuman living conditions. That's
the ghetto.
Yeah.
The ghetto of the Fable.
Yes,
community.
basically.
Okay.
And it's weird stuff happening. So like you have Beauty and the Beast, where Beauty is cheating on Beast. Like so they were together. Shit, I forgot with whom. But hey, no spoilers. You'll find out in the game.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So again, all your choices impact what's happening
Like
within
life.
the game. Yes, like life. It's actually a lot of fun. Like you're in like actual under real pressure. You're like shit, ye marne wala hai koi.
Video games is
Control your own
basically
fate.
human beings trying to play God.
Basically, and I actually, so for me, I like books, I like video games. Movies for me are like alright, because in a book you're immersed in the world and you have your imagination which can sort of take you wherever. You're like you visualize ki okay, ye sab ho sakta hai in the universe. This is what this person could look like. This is what could happen. A movie is very straightforward. Like okay, you can only see what is on the screen. You can't explore the world
Beyond that.
any further. But with video games, especially open world video games, you can just see completely what's happening. You can go on a random tangent and like find tiny small details.
Have you played the Harry Potter game?
Oh, they were terrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, I played it, the first one on like PlayStation 1 where like Harry Potter was just like, the graphics were so bad, like his face was basically one pixel with one chota dot as a scar. And he's like, oh, let us go and like do the Quidditch and it was damn badly done. And I got really bored of the game. Also, I'm not I mean, controversial thing to say, but Harry Potter.
It's okay.
Not
We
my
accept
favorite.
all kinds.
Yes, we should.
Okay, so we want to end this with a reading challenge.
Yes.
I
For
want to read Witcher.
us and all of you watching.
And not for me because I am suggesting the book.
Yeah, he's so cool.
You can
Yeah.
read Pride and Prejudice.
That is a challenge.
Azeem,
Yes.
if you love video games so much, why
Yes.
don't you change your name to Azeem Banatwala? Ha ha ha. Anyway, so the book that we will read is the first book in the Witcher
Yes,
series.
in the Witcher
I
series.
want to read The Witcher.
Me
Yes,
also.
whicher one you ask, and I say the first one, which is The Blood of Elves. by
Blood of
Blood
Elves.
of Elves.
Elves, yes,
Elves
The
के
Blood
खून.
of Elves.
इनके
yes.
विचर बड़े
Yes.
नोबल है.
बहुत नोबल विचर और
Noble
आपके विचर भी सुनने हम आएंगे.
आप बताएंगे.
Yes, आप अपने विचर बताइए.
विचर बताइए कमेंट सेक्शन
कमेंट
में.
सेक्शन में द ब्लड ऑफ एल्व्स पढ़िए. बहुत खूनी नॉवेल है.
खतरनाक.
खतरनाक खून खैर I don't speak and no, it's a great book, and like if you like that, then read the second and third and fourth and
Yeah.
all of them. They're
And
still
me-
coming out, so. And you will be like you'll be reading the books before they're cool. Yeah.
That's true. Before they
Yeah.
make a movie.
Yeah, before
Let's
they,
see
and
this,
there
guys.
a movie is in the works, by the
Okay,
way.
then
Oh,
we
Read
are
we
fast.
have no time left. We have to
Okay.
get down.
Also
Yeah.
Do
share
it.
this video.
Yeah.
Yes,
Share this
share,
video.
like, share,
Comment.
subscribe, comment, and other things. Bye.